Good afternoon, 6-4 parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our weekly update. Next week is track out week, so we have a 4-day week. Friday is Good Friday, so we'll be tracking out on Thursday next week. On Wednesday, students will be taking their NC math check-in. Nothing they need to do to prepare for that. Just wanted to give you a heads up. They'll be taking that Wednesday morning. In Math 6 next week, we're going to be working on our Unit 6 study guide number 2 Monday and Tuesday. That's going to be on mostly solving algebraic equations, trying to figure out what that variable in an equation is equal to. And then we'll take that quiz on Thursday. Wednesday will kind of be like a finish up the study guide. If we're not done, it'll be a much shorter class due to that NC check-in. All right. In 6+, this week we started talking about negative numbers, mostly just comparing them, writing some inequalities, talking about opposites and absolute value. Next week we're going to get into adding and subtracting. Negative numbers and positive numbers as well. And that's where we'll end our track out. We'll pick that unit back up when we track back in. All right. Have a great week, and we will see you on Monday.
No school for Good Friday. What Friday's a bad Friday? ELA next week. This week, we ended on Thursday and Friday each day. We talked about overfishing and fish depletion. On Thursday, students did some research and had some nonfiction text and had to find quotes or compelling reasons for their slides next week. Today, we talked about a case study, which means you look at certain species, and when they did the exact same skill, they're looking for facts and quotes to put into their consumer guide. And then Monday will be our last day of research. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to put all that research to work when they make their consumer guides. We're going to be doing those digitally. They're meant to be written on a piece of paper, but for all our eyes and reading purposes, we're going to put them digitally. And they're going to be using the research they used over these past 3 days in making their consumer guide and have that finalized by Thursday. Science, we started soil conservation today. On Monday and Tuesday, the students are going to spend some time picking a method of how we conserve soil in the farming practices, and then they're going to be looking at either farming and construction, mining, or farming, construction, and mining, and which one is the way we harm soil. They're going to be making a visual about this with the partner. Wednesday, they're going to be talking in groups and comparing and contrasting their work. And Thursday, we will have Mr. Martin for guidance to end the tracking. So have a wonderful weekend. Dry one day, wet the other. We'll see. Soccer better be on Sunday.
Very good. All right, so some social studies updates. We today finished our last lesson on economics. We talked about Mansa Musa, who was the emperor of Mali, became one of the richest men in human history. We talked about the gold that he was collecting, the taxes that he was collecting, and made him super rich, the Hajj that he went on. Starting on Monday, we'll get into social structures, and we'll do social structures for those 4 days where we're talking about hierarchies in societies. We'll talk about the Egyptian social structure from the pharaoh all the way down to enslaved people. And that will probably be all we get done next week. And then we'll track out. And when we come back, we'll continue our lessons on social structures. We'll be talking about the social structures in Rome. We'll be talking about the social structures in feudal Japan. And then we're going to be doing a project called the Dinner Party, where we write poems about these different levels and we get together and have a fun meal. And it's a fun kind of activity to end social structures. So that's a split kind of activity. We'll do a little bit before track out and a little bit after track out. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense and you're having a good week. We'll talk to you next week.